Hey everybody, Scott Luton here with you on Supply Chain Now. I'm here in Columbus, Ohio with my esteemed special co-host, Christine Barnhart. Christine, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Scott. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful. We've got some big interviews coming up. We're here at CHAINge, which is a newly reinvented supply chain event here in Columbus, powered by ASCM. It's really the center of the universe for all things supply chain this week. And we're joined by Mike Bunge, Vice President, Global Supply Chain, Hamilton Beach Brands. He's also Chairman of the Board with ASCM. So Mike, how you doing?
Great, Scott. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so we've already had like 3 podcast episodes in the pre-show. We should have been recording all that, right?
Yeah.
Covered some good ground. We found out about your water polo prowess at USC. Is that right, Mike?
Prowess, yeah, that's probably an overstatement, but yeah.
All right, so let's get to know a little bit more about Hamilton Beach Brands and your role. But I bet a lot of our viewers or listeners, they've got products in their kitchen from your company. I know I've got blenders, coffee makers. You got some Hamilton Beach?
I got some Hamilton Beach
Yes,
stuff
it's
as well.
everywhere. Tell us more about the 3 people that don't know the company though.
So thank you for that. If you've got our products in your kitchen, we really appreciate that. Yeah, think in terms of blenders, coffee pots, bread makers, contact cooking, all kinds of small kitchen appliances, also irons, garment care. People may not think Hamilton Beach, but like Chi irons.
Okay.
You know, if you've got Chi irons or steamers.
Like the flat, like the care iron thing?
Yeah, but it's the Chi for clothing. It's all garment care. Yeah,
I
so
did not know.
that's ours. Clorox air purification equipment is ours, and a fun one is Bartesian too. We make and sell Bartesian units, which are kind of like the K-cup for cocktails. It's a fun. Yeah. So we're publicly traded too. New York Stock Exchange, ticker HBB. My role there, leading supply chain and operations. So I got a great team, global company, warehousing, Europe, Mexico, Canada, USA, a couple in China. Global organization, probably most importantly, it's a fun company. Fun company, fun products. We love testing them. Got some great products.
Love it. Man, okay. You mentioned the New York Stock Exchange. I got to go do a quick sidebar.
Okay.
Because I believe you live in Richmond now, but previously you were in Dallas, right?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all know Dallas is building its own stock exchange to rival the New York Stock Exchange?
I did not. No.
It's unbelievable. Oh my gosh. This is new to you too?
This is new to me too, but that's an interesting concept.
Stay tuned,
I'm
folks.
telling you.
Christine,
Yeah.
where are we going next? with Mike?
I mean, Mike, I would really love for you to dig in just a little bit to some of the work that you've been doing with Hamilton Beach. What have been the initiatives and what are the challenges that you guys have been facing?
So I could share a couple. Probably the biggest one is challenges that many others are facing, right? Geopolitics is huge for us. I mentioned where all we have operations, and being a global company, geopolitics is playing an ever greater role in the decisions we make. We have a supply side that, you know, we do have some like remanufacturing in the U.S. A lot of our supply is Asia Pacific. Our industry is highly concentrated in our supply, and we're working very hard to diversify that, build resilience, flexibility into the supply chain. I know these aren't new topics.
Right.
We've been working on this for years now. It's really, really difficult. If you tear apart your coffee pot at home, there's a lot of components that go into making that thing. And those components all come together in an assembly process, but to just pick that up and move is an extremely difficult thing to do. And I could probably share, you know, one other key area, and it ties into geopolitics, but we've set up our hub distribution center in the USA as a foreign trade zone, which was actually a really good learning process for all of us on the team. We didn't have experience, so we had to study, we had to figure out what we were doing, and we've now got a foreign trade zone at our hub manufacturing, or our hub distribution center down in Byhalia, Mississippi.
You know, setting up, first off, we have the smartest audience in all the global supply chain, so they probably know this, but the demand for FTZs is up, right? Given the trade environment we're in. But as I've learned, not firsthand, but through very savvy folks that tried, it's not easy to set those up. You go through lots of different hurdles. So it sounds like you had some key lessons learned, so your next few, whenever you need new FTZ space, it'll be easier.
It will be easier. We've got that muscle memory now. we anticipated it'll be easier. I mean, it was an 18-month process. So we started this before all of the turmoil that we're in right now. We actually started it as really as a tool to use to serve our global clients, because it is our hub distribution center. We were fortunate, we were a CTPAT operation, so we had already checked a lot of the boxes, high level of security, but yeah, we ramped that up earlier this year and we're leveraging it now.
Love it. And Christine, we've seen a lot of FTZ demand, bonded warehouses, but one key differentiator there with bonded warehouses, I believe you got a 5-year window to get products in and out of there, controlling the tariffs. But with FTZs, I think it's unlimited, so it gives you even more flexibility.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Fortunately, we don't have many items that sit for 5 years,
Right.
and we've got some great customers out there.
Other initiatives.
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say, that's a different initiative. Mike.
All right, so let's see here. I want to talk about transformation.
Okay.
I'm sitting with 2 great transformation leaders here today, but I want to talk about your approach. And Mike, we're living in this world of digital transformation, ever increasing velocity. 100 miles an hour today, 110 miles an hour tomorrow. But what is one, with all your transformation experience, your track record you've established, when you view how other organizations are tackling transformation, what is one often overlooked element of their change management approach?
So I think a huge part of that's our team itself, right? It's our people and leveraging the talents of our people. Transformation really can't come from the top down. As the leader of supply chain and operations, I can't say you will transform. And I actually have a great example of that when we did the ScoreMark benchmarking process, and out of that ScoreMark benchmarking process, we learned we needed to reorganize our teams a little bit. And I generally like our teams organized around value streams, but I didn't know how to do it at Hamilton Beach. And so I wasn't too proud. I actually sat down with our team and I explained, here's kind of that value stream leadership process, and here's why I'm not figuring out how to implement it in Hamilton Beach. And my team thought it through, and actually about a month later, my team, they'd been talking water cooler talk, and they'd been working together and hadn't included me. About a month later, they came and said, hey, we got some ideas.
Love it.
We want to talk to you about how Hamilton Beach can reorganize around value streams, and we've actually got some options of plugging people into different roles, and it was a great process. And I didn't have to drive buy-in. I had buy-in from the team, and they were trying to get my buy-in, but actually I already bought in. I shared the concept of value stream leadership, and that really did drive a transformation. So an example of that is have a director of plan to product, right? And that's a more common role, I think, but also a director of order to cash application, which is a little bit more unusual, but that actually manages the customer at the front end, all the way to the back end when invoicing takes place and cash gets applied to the account. So we've got that role responsible for things like deductions and shortages and claims, and we're focusing on that value stream and showing improvement as a result.
All right. Christine, your comment there, so much going on. I got some favorite parts. Where do you go?
Yeah, I think what I love about what Mike is saying is it's really been about you empowering your people to be innovative and to think differently. You're not dictating, and you don't think you have all the answers, but you're giving them that space so that they can bring forward their best ideas, and then you guys can implement those.
Yeah, and I was really impressed by the team. They listened to some of my ideas, but they also we could be vulnerable, and I could say, look, I don't know how to do this. I don't see the link to our organization. It's just not.
Right.
And help me out, and they helped me out. It was
Clearly.
great.
Yeah. You've got a powerful, innovative team, and it really, for the millionth time, it illustrates the importance of the old adage, you do it with the people, not to the people.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I love to meet leaders that don't act like it's 1927, and it's it's almost 2027, right? Yeah. Christine, before we move to the board stuff, you've done a lot of change management, a lot of transformation. That really resonates with you.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that you think organizations can overlook as they're looking to transform, especially their supply chain organization?
It's interesting because you said change management multiple times, and I actually think that is the area that people often overlook. They see it as a line item on a program, and they're like, "Oh, we don't need to spend that money. We don't need to do that work." And you can select a great tool. It can do amazing things. You can have wonderful people, but if you're not actually managing the change,
Yes.
it will often fail. And so I see a lot of people still kind of unfortunately making that mistake.
Well said. Great call outs to you both. Okay, so Christine, I think we're going to be shifting gears
Yep.
and talking about board work.
Well, and I think it really follows well from what Mike just talked about. Like for me, as a member of the board of ASCM, I'm super excited to see Mike, pick up the leadership mantle for the organization, because I think we're at a pivotal moment. And the organization has to think about priorities differently, and how does the organization transform? So what is it you're looking forward to with the organization as you take on this role next year?
We're very excited to take on the role. I think that the vision of ASCM making the world a better place through supply chain resonates with all of us, right? And ASCM has a great toolkit. They have a whole body of knowledge that can really help all of our organizations grow and develop. We just came from talking about people,
Right.
and helping develop our people and doing this together. ASCM aligns perfectly with that. I'm a big supporter too, ASCM, the docu-series that just came out.
yes.
Yeah, The Chain.
It's on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Amazon
Yes,
Prime.
Amazon
Yeah.
Prime.
This is a big deal for us, and as an association, I've been super supportive of developing The Chain. I used to watch, what was it, How the World Works, or How Things Were Made. I think it was How Things Were Made. And I looked that up. I didn't realize it'd been on for 17 years. Yeah, forever. And this is like, The Chain is like how things are made, or I forget the name of it, how things are made on steroids completely. So the Chain's an awesome docu-series. I think it's going to expand ASCM's reach. It's going to be in people's living rooms.
Yeah.
People understand what supply chain is now. They didn't used to understand until we all ran out of toilet paper in 2020. And
Exactly. No, 100%. For 20 years, people would be like, "What do you do?" And I would talk to them, and they'd be like, "Yeah." Now they're like, "Oh, you're the reason I couldn't get toilet paper."
oh yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for my
Thank you.
toilet paper now.
So I love that, and you're right. More folks recognize the power of how global supply chain touches everything, and it's not a niche. It truly is universal. Everything has a supply chain, and the people we were talking about a second ago, in this incredible golden age of supply chain tech, it's still people driven, and it's still the secret sauce of success.
It is. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of people, we're surrounded by some of the best and brightest across global supply chain. Change was reinvented. We were talking pre-show. I've been to ASCM and previously APIC's annual events several times in my career. Change is a bold, fresh new direction in this annual event. Mike, there are several, I know, but what's one important differentiator in your perspective over how the annual event is always taking place?
I think probably the biggest thing for me is we had direct involvement of our members, of the board too. And we were actually calling some of our contacts saying, "Hey, would you come speak to us?" So it's really an event. It's for supply chain, put on by supply chain. It's not necessarily, an APICS event, as you go back to the APICS days too, as do I, and the Connect, APICS Connect, then ASCM Connect. This was entirely about for supply chain by supply chain. So I was actually, you go back 6-9 months ago, I was actually on the phone. And so I was the one reached out to Gina Raimondo, former Secretary of Commerce, saying, "Hey, can we get you to speak? We'd like you to come in." And Alex Yao, who is here from Costco Shipping, he's in charge of North America and Costco. "Alex, come talk to us. We want to learn about supply chain." Willie Sho, we're going to hear from today, professor at Harvard University, on the phone with Willie. "Hey, we'd like to hear from you." So this is kind of how the event, was created, and it's really what supply chain wants to hear, and maybe a little bit less of what people want to tell us, but the type of people we want to hear from.
I like it, Mike. And one other differentiator I see, at least, tell me if I'm right or wrong, Christine, is I believe this event change in terms of how it's deliberately been constructed is, as Mike said, it's for everybody. You may be an ASCM member, or you may not be an ASCM member.
Absolutely.
It's for the industry.
It is for the industry. We really want it to be inclusive, and we want people to have conversations. It's great to have wonderful speakers, but I think the power of change is in the conversations and the networking that's happening. And yes, you get some tidbits or some ideas, but then you can actually bounce it off people that are sitting at the table with you as well.
Yeah. A lot of how are you handling this?
Right.
How are you handling? And you get those ideas, and you're able to feed off of each other.
All right, so the next show, we've got how things are made, how stuff works was a popular podcast. How change is driven. We'll produce that next year. How's that sound?
All right.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
we're on
in.
it. Yeah.
Mike and I are in.
All right, folks. $1 million question as we wrap. How can folks connect with you, Mike Bunge?
Sure. LinkedIn's the greatest way. My profile's out on LinkedIn. I think it's Michael Bunge, but that's me.
It's just that easy. Appreciate what you're doing at Hamilton Beach Brands, and also appreciate what you're doing at ASCM. Thanks so much, Mike Bunge. Christine, I got a surprise question for you.
Oh my goodness.
Surprise question. We've covered a lot of ground.
Bring it to me.
We've covered a lot of ground with Mike Bunge here, just over the last 15 minutes or so. What's one of your favorite takeaways that Mike has shared with us?
I think it's really about leveraging his wonderful people and his team. We live in this age where I think everybody's afraid of their AI and it's going to displace. And what you said was, it's really about your team, right? Like, you can augment your team and you can have new processes and transformations, but the people are really still what make your organization great.
Absolutely.
So
Well said. Well said. I knew I wouldn't get you with that surprise question. Good stuff. Mike Bunge, really appreciate you being here. Christine Barnhart, who is my fearless co-host throughout 6 incredible sessions here at Change. Thanks for being here, Christine.
Yeah.
And folks, stick around as we continue our coverage here at CHAINge North America 2025. And folks, whatever you do, learn from these two leaders here, but put it in action. It's about deeds, not words. And with all that said, Scott Luton, on behalf of the team, challenge you to do good, give forward, be the change that's needed. We'll see you next time, right back here on Supply Chain Now. Thanks, everybody.